Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Taking Flight podcast. It is Megan, and if you are watching on YouTube, things look a little bit different over here, don't they? I've got some friends with me on this episode, and I cannot wait to have you get to know them and for us to have this beautiful conversation because the four of us, whenever we're together, we always have some really just kind of, I guess, soulful, if you will, conversation. So we're going to bring it right here to the mic so that hopefully you walk away with a little something from each of our hearts. So I thought it'd be kind of fun for us to introduce ourselves in kind of a fun, different way. So today, ladies, and we'll kind of just go down the row just to make it easy. And I'll start so that you can feel, comfy doing it. Introduce yourself as like, hi, my name is Megan, and my biz besties know that I am the one who is always dancing. And if you're around here, y'all know that that is very, very true. From a business perspective, I'm a branding photographer, confidence coach, and speaker and podcaster. Obviously, that's why we're here. And work with women and creative entrepreneurs to bring them to life through photography and coaching. So, my friend, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Let's go.
Hi, I am Jody, and my biz besties know me as the one who will leave you a voice memo at 7 a.m. because I had something come in for you at 5 a.m., but I waited 2 hours to send you a note. So yes, I'm always just like channeling ideas for those around me and really pour my heart and soul, especially into you ladies. So thank you. And then on a business side, I am in the business of transforming lives through intentional style. So I am a sustainable personal stylist. I really put the intention behind getting dressed and making sure you're showing up in a way that feels you. We go through so many changes in life, and just making sure that you are showing up and feeling your best.
Yes, she does an amazing job of that. All right.
My name is Shannon, and my biz besties would know me best as the person who is always putting the camera in front of their faces to get the behind the scenes footage of what we're doing that day or our meeting, or just documenting literally everything that we're doing. So that is me basically every time we hang out. On a business perspective, I own a digital marketing studio. It's called Sheridan Rose, and I work with other business owners on showcasing their business through social media, branding, website design, and just making sure that they are showing up as their best selves and showcasing that.
Yeah, you do. And it's amazing to see.
Thank you.
Come to life.
Yes.
All right. Last but not least, my friend.
I'm Victoria. What people know me for, bringing a good laugh, community building, singing, and bang slanging.
Woo! I love it. Yeah.
I love that.
And I am a personal destination hairstylist, bringing the experience to you where you're most comfortable, around who you're most comfortable with, and reminding you that you can have a space to simply exist with no social expectations. And yeah.
And I love that about
Thanks.
you. And for everybody that you get to serve. It's beautiful.
It is.
Okay. So today, naturally, we are our own little mini community. And so we thought it would be wonderful to talk about the idea of community and how we came together, how community, whether it's the four of us or our bigger communities, our social communities, our business communities, how those support us, how we've created boundaries within them, how just in general, right? They can be a part of our lives, our business in a way that help us get to where we want to go next. Versus feeling so alone. And I think that's something, I know, Jody, you talk about it a lot. Like the solopreneur thing is not for the faint of heart. And so I do also think that we have Jody to thank for quite a few of our initial connections, right? Between that and social media, we're all local to each other, but that's kind of was our initial connecting points. And I love that. So community, what does community mean to us? Let's kind of talk about that each individually. Like when somebody says like, why is community important to you? What does that mean? Anybody have a first initial thought on that?
Yeah, I'll just piggyback off of what you said.
Yeah.
So, the solarpreneur thing, that's like one of the first things that was told to me when I started my business. The first mentor that I ever invested in, she warned me ahead of time, like being a solarpreneur is lonely and you're going to have to find your community. So, from day one, I was just kind of keeping my eye out for that. And I did find you guys on Instagram, all of you, and just was so connected to you. I ended up hiring you separately for your services, but just felt so connected immediately to all of you that I was like, it started with Shannon, was like, hey, will you be my friend?
We met up in Trader Joe's.
Yeah.
I just think that's the funniest thing.
I was
Like,
I was looking for
"Hi."
somebody to do my website at the time and do my branding, and I had hired somebody else. It ended up just falling through the cracks, and it was obviously for a good reason. But then she just appeared at Trader Joe's, and since I was already fangirling on her Instagram, I was just like, there she is.
And I was like, hi.
Hello.
So yeah, and then just taking that first step to be like, okay, we have a connection, and not being afraid to be like, okay, let's start something. Do you need this? Because this is what I need.
Yeah.
So just building a group of people that are supportive.
Yeah. Anybody else on thoughts of like what community does for you or means to you?
Yeah, I think. Oh,
No, go ahead.
I think for me, definitely when I think of community, I think of just communication and also support. And so, like we've talked about, being a solo entrepreneur is so lonely in so many ways. And you have these ideas and thoughts running through your head constantly. So, community, I think, is really great, especially like within our group. We're able to just really like share those thoughts at the random times in voice notes or just really long note messages that we send back and forth to each other. So just being able to have like a soundboard that is also we're all doing it for each other. It's not just one way. It's not just a one-way street. And just supporting each other through that communication is huge.
Yeah, I agree. And I also think that building community, like taking your time, growing it slowly but surely type of deal, because then you're not just jumping in for the sake of having support and needing that and wanting that and longing for it. You're really doing it intentionally and you're feeling things out. You're seeing how this would work or if you really jive with those people, if you're all on like a similar playing field. And I think really tapping into like reflecting on yourself and then also reflecting on who you're meeting and who you're spending time with and whether you can be of support to those people and they're supporting you with, so I think that's all important too.
I love that because I think it is important. It's actually kind of a thought that I was thinking we could really dive into because I think we're very intentional humans. Like I've never met so many people in one little pod of, of the population that is very intentional about the people, but even more importantly, the energy that they surround themselves with. And so what are our thoughts on that? Like, how do we get more specific? Because I'm sure there's people out there listening that might feel like, yeah, I've got people around me, but I'm not maybe feeling as energized by them, or I'm being drained by them, or they're just the people who have always been here, so I don't know, like that kind of a sentiment. So what is kind of the way to move more and more towards finding the people who do light you up, who you don't feel drained by? It's because it's a beautiful thing when you start bringing in the people that really suit your same goals, energy, all the things.
I think you need to get up and you need to get out.
Ooh.
You do. You have to get out. And whether that's like just out of your comfort zone, we have this technology in our hands all the time. And whether we're like a super fan of it or not, like it does bring people together in great ways, but also like do not get stuck behind that and make sure that you're getting yourself out there and you're finding things that motivate you, like whether that's giving back or showing up at a coffee shop and making a conversation, with just a stranger, seeing like what's in your community too,
Yeah. I think for me too, you spoke about energy. So it really is a feeling. So just being in person with somebody, noticing your energy, the way that they make you feel, but also paying attention to your role in that as well. So if something's off, like making sure it's not something that you're doing. Like I'm the self-proclaimed introvert. So like is my energy off that day? But
Right.
Yeah.
also just like being receptive to what the energy is around you and how we can pour into each other. But for us too, it's really what's important is we're all different businesses, but we're all creatives by nature. So just finding that common theme, listen to the words that people are saying that really resonate with you. And I think that's what all attracted me to all of you is just listening to you speak. And it's just like you can really feel your authentic selves through that. I was attracted to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that.
I think too, like going back to how do you pull in like-minded people into your community, and Jody kind of touched on that as well. Is like I think it's just really listening to your intuition and your energy and following that. There is a piece of that where you do have to push yourself to go outside of your comfort zone, and you do have to get out there. But like once you're in a group, it's really just trusting your intuition of like, this feels right, this feels good. And there's also the point of, reflecting on how am I showing up? Am I giving as much as I'm getting? Those different types of things, but just really trusting in like your feeling as well.
Yeah.
And I feel like what I'm also hearing is being more and more self-aware. And I think people who are on similar wavelengths, and obviously we're all going to have differences and our personalities are different in so many different facets as well, but having the ability to go in, kind of like Jody said, and be self-aware of like, what am I bringing to the table today? Or communicating that. If you're having an off day, the people who get you are going to understand that. Like, you don't need to be what you're used to all the time, right? And I think that's a sentiment for all of us, like navigating not even just relationships or community, but just in life, that it's okay, right? And the more self-aware we are, the more that we can navigate these things in a healthy way and move through them, to find people who understand that. If you say, gosh, I'm not feeling myself, somebody might say, well, do you need space? Do you need to talk through something? What is it that you need, versus just assuming one way or the other, right? And I think that's a beautiful thing when people match your energy, because then they can see that in you. Sometimes before you can see it in yourself.
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool, right?
Yeah.
I feel, does anybody have any thoughts on that? Like having people around you that kind of almost have a vision for you before you do? Because I feel like we all have done that for each other,
Yeah.
where we're like, ooh, like I can so see something like just moving and swirling around you. And you're kind of going, I know sometimes with me, I've been like, guys, I don't know if I can do that, And you're like, I know you can. And I'm like, so
Yeah.
what are our thoughts on that? Like, how does that like feel? What does that mean?
I think it's really, once you find your people and share your like deepest thoughts and your business goals and really who you are, it's then having that group kind of push you outside of your comfort zone. That's what I love so much about all of us, is we do that for each other in so many different ways, because we feel safe and comfortable to be able to express that to each other, and know that it's coming from a safe place, and we're not trying to push it on each other. We're just trying to, we are pushing each other to go outside of our comfort
Right.
zones.
We're stretching.
But yeah, stretching. Yeah. So
Yeah. And piggybacking off what Shannon said, it is a safe space for us to share. So a lot of times we're just open and honest, and we might not be paying attention to our own words, but it's paying attention to each other's words. So when it's time to step up, it's like, you asked for this. This is what you wanted. And just showing people like, let's go. This is go time.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, there was like a good example yesterday when we were talking about like the first time that you asked if I would think about coming on the show.
Yeah.
And I was like, that sounds great, but I don't think I'm experienced. Like, I don't know if I have enough to share or say or anything.
Yeah.
And then I was like, how silly of me was that to like think that like somebody was asking me to do something because they saw something in me.
Mhm.
And I was like, oh, you don't want this.
Nah.
I don't know.
Nope. But that is a great example, and I'm glad you remembered that, because we were talking about that sentiment, and we all have it. It's like, well, why would you even ask me for that? Or why would you even think I could do that kind of a thing? We all have it in different ways. For you, it was coming on this, and it's like, none of us have it all together. I promise. We're all just here doing the thing, which is what Taking Flight is about. It's not perfection. It is just showing up like a human being, talking about something that we're passionate about, and knowing, not even hoping, knowing that somebody out there needs the one tidbit that each of us say at some point throughout the episode. And move that into any example that you, listening, can also take into any part of your life, right? You may never go on a podcast. That's okay. But what are you telling yourself that you're not capable of doing? Take a look around your community and see what they see in you, And if you have a community that just kind of lets you kind of rest on your, find some people who will kind of muster that up a little bit, help you find your courage and your voice, and then you'll see that you're capable of so much more, which is absolutely amazing. Yeah. And with community like this, right? Like, there's so many good, beautiful things, but also there's boundaries, right? When we come into it, like sometimes we have to find our own boundaries within how we navigate the world, especially as business owners, right? Like, we start to find these dream clients, and we find these people who are a part of our community, and they're a beautiful part of it, but we don't always know until we're in it sometimes, right? You can't know, like, always instantly, is this person for me? Is it not? Is it a good fit for this season? Is it a good fit for long term? How do we navigate that? Like, how do we navigate boundaries to figure out as we go who is meant for us, whether it's client or somebody in our community just lifting us up? Any thoughts on like boundaries? And because when you are very open, energized, creative humans, we talked about this yesterday too, our boundaries can get sucked dry because people are like, oh, they're so like, they have so many things to give and so many ideas, and they're a safe space and we feel safe with them. So take. So on the kind of opposite side of it, of like the beautiful moments of building a community, how do we safeguard our energy when we're going, even with the people who have the best intentions? They're not trying to siphon, but they're just are, because they're like, oh, I want more. How do we build safe boundaries?
Definitely, like what we were saying before, like reflection. You have to like always be reflecting and remembering what you're doing it for, Yeah. Because if you don't know why you're even trying to be out and, seeing what's out there, seeing who's out there, then you'll just be kind of like lost in the wave of people, and you'll just be like, I'm out here in the community, but nothing's happening, but you're not doing anything, and yeah, I think like Shannon was saying, communication.
Yeah. I love that.
I think as a creative, and we're all creatives, we have a little bit of like our people pleasing tendencies, and I know we all have it in one way or the other. And it's really hard for us to not give. And, we have all these ideas and we want to share. But what I've learned is you have to muster up the courage to put the boundaries in place. I think that's like the hardest part for me is I know when a boundary has been crossed or when I'm feeling drained, like I can feel it. But it's then, okay, it's safe for me to say, put that boundary in place once it gets there. Like, this is great. I'm loving everything that we're sharing. At this point, this is going outside of the scope of our project, what have you. So that's like a business example. Within like a friend group, it can be just being open and honest. Hey guys, I'm really going through it right now. I'm like, drowning in client work. This is happening personally. I may not get back to you right away, but I see you, and I'm definitely going to be checking in once I can like catch my breath, sort of thing. So
And people don't know what your boundaries are until you say them,
Mhm.
until you find out what they even are.
That's
You know,
true.
when something feels right or something feels wrong, they don't know. They're just living. You
Yeah.
know, you don't know unless you ask. Like,
Yeah.
you don't know until you do.
Yeah. Ooh, I love that. I love that thought because even for ourselves, sometimes we're not even sure what our boundaries are until we're kind of, well, at least for me, in certain situations, I've been pushed past them so far that I'm like, woo, I need to like
rein it in.
go back 3 steps. And then that's where my boundary is. And so I love how you said that because people don't know what your boundaries are and they may not have many going on in their life. So they don't even realize, like who knows, right? We're all coming from different places, spaces, backgrounds, all of it. And so I love that you said that. So, and then I love that you said the communication because the more that we can communicate, and it can feel uncomfortable at times to
Yeah.
say, hey, I need a moment to get back to you, or that is such a great idea. I just can't act on it right now, or whatever the case may be. So, empowering you to take a moment, like where do you feel stretched thin in a relationship, whether it's with the best intentions or you are feeling like it's a little bit more of an intentional drain, either way, right? Like, how can you take a moment to figure out what would feel good for me? Like, how can I slowly, you don't have to have these like hard and fast, like metal boundaries all of a sudden, but can you have a soft, like, I don't know why this came to my brain, but like a pool noodle, just like lay that out, toss it in front for a second and be like, oh, we're going to try that. And we're going to say this and we're going to put it out there in this way and then start building it from there, right? You can build a little pool noodle fort as you go and you need a little bit more structure in that boundary. Because goodness, I feel like we live in a time where boundaries are stretched a lot. And I think it's because of being so connected. And the other day I just told Nathan, I was like, I feel like I'm failing everybody because I wasn't getting back to everybody fast enough. And I had to like stretch out, a schedule situation and he's like, who are you failing? He's like, you're doing all of it. It's just like in a different time frame than you think it should be. And I was like, of course you're right. And okay. So I had to stand firm in the feeling that like, this is my feeling, not their feeling. If I articulate and communicate, like you said, Shannon, that, hey, I need a couple extra days to get this finalized and finished. Most of the time people are going to go, oh, like I didn't even expect it to have it done that fast or whatever it was, So for anybody out there listening who's going, I'm just putting these super hard and fast rule on your own self, this is your sign to just take a moment and take a deep breath and know that that's like not necessary.
Yeah.
It's not. How about you, Jody? Any thoughts on boundaries? Because you got good
like
boundaries.
you said, it's just really learning what those boundaries are and just changing as you go. So I think I'm the newbie in business and I've been in business for 3 years and you guys all a little bit longer than me, but it's really just getting to know yourself and when those things come up, just shifting and being prepared for that, but really having like your systems in place. So you know that these are non-negotiables for me. And the rest is just kind of work as we go. But I think all of us were just so compassionate in our business and people pleasers, like you said, but really just like knowing ourselves. And I'd rather be someone who under promises and over delivers than over promises and over delivers because I will never under deliver.
Yeah.
I'd
You're like,
rather
won't
you
happen.
be pleasantly surprised than me like making promises that really just don't align with my values.
Yeah.
I was going to say the values part of it. Like,
Yeah.
you should always be reflecting on your values because you're always going to run into, every day, you're going to run into people that have different values than what you do.
Yes.
And if that'll be like one of the biggest things that could be like a signpost for you is just recognizing like when somebody communicates their value in an action or in their words, like then, kind of take it as like see if that's what they really mean. And then see if it happens again and then be able to communicate that too. If it's like something that's kind of like on the soft boundary line for you,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and then just kind of see if it keeps showing up and then be able to like communicate that. And you don't always have to be like so over communicative about it. You can be like soft about how you kind of go about it, or maybe you need to like distance yourself, those
Yeah.
kinds of things. Yeah.
And I think the more we like tune into who we are and the way that we show up online and stuff, like lots of us aren't attracting the wrong people anymore. Like we really
Right.
just put out like who we are. Like it just shows if people are paying attention what's actually important to us.
Yeah.
So true. And I think a little way to build up trust with yourself with that is like just start small. When you guys were talking, something that happened this summer in my personal life, not even in business, but it kind of helped me understand myself in all facets, right? I love doing yard work, and my husband knows that about me. And I will get hyper focused on it, and I will go and get stuff done. Well, I found myself being kind of resentful of Nathan because he was like doing stuff, but like not at the same capacity I was. And in my brain, right, I was like, well, why aren't you doing this, and this when I'm doing this, and that, right? And I was getting frustrated, and I just felt like just steaming on the inside. And so I finally said something to him, and I said, you know, I'm feeling like I'm out here all alone doing this project. And it was that thing where we were on different playing fields, right? We were on different planes. And he goes, oh, he's like, I'm honestly I wasn't thinking that you were upset. He's like, you love doing this. You looked like you were excited and happy and just going and in your zone. I didn't realize that you were also feeling stressed and like it was all coming down on you. And it was this really good, honest conversation that made me realize, oh, if I would have never said that, we would have both been on two different worlds, thinking two different things. He didn't think that I was feeling any sort of way, honestly. And I was feeling all sorts of ways. And it taught me that little bit of communication can go a long way, because somebody goes, oh my gosh, I didn't realize that you felt that way. I didn't see it that way, whatever it was. And since then, when something similar like a project or whatever comes up, now we can communicate better about it. Like what each of our expectations are, what we're feeling through it. And this can go in anything, right? That was the personal life situation, but it's helped me to be more mindful if I'm feeling a certain way in any facet, and especially in business, like how to articulate better and be like, wait a second, that person doesn't know how I feel because I never said that. So I think it's a really so important. Going back to everything that we've all been saying is check back in, self-aware, communication, all of the things, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
I love that. Okay, so let's take a moment to talk about if anything comes to mind for us, like within our communities, what are some wins because being in community with people that we've found ourselves in? And like the win can be you just stepped into something, or, you know, it doesn't have to be, you know, anything overly grand and monumental. Does anybody have something that comes to mind that they can directly kind of note back to, like, if I wasn't in community, I don't know if I would have done this or moved towards this, kind of a thing?
Something just so recent for me, Victoria and I are doing a collab together, and it's something that I would have never have asked her to do, but it's, you know, the transformational style 3-day experience with me, and she's adding in her her destination all natural haircut experience as well.
So exciting.
And it's just going to be so amazing for the person who got it, and just so grateful just to lift each other up and be in that community. But like I said, I never would have asked for it. So
Yeah. Ooh, I love that one. It's so good. And the person that's going to get to like
Oh my gosh.
feel.
They don't even know what just the amazingness that's going to come to them.
They have no idea. They're going to walk away a new human. Are you kidding me? Like I've
Hopefully we'll do it
experienced
again.
both of their
Yeah.
of their beautiful energies. I've experienced both of them, and to like
Same.
have them all kind of in a similar time frame with a similar end, you know, transformation. Whoever
You
you
guys
are
are
out
going to open
there.
up new portals
I know.
together.
For real.
We
Yeah.
see it happening. It's just like, I see this big flash. I'm like, oh, that's Victoria and Jody. They got together.
Well, thank you for sharing that, because I love that, and I think it shows, right, that when we come together, ideas happen, people become supported differently. And now transformation is on its way for somebody and probably many people to come, right? You know, in that same vein.
Yeah.
Anyone else have any thoughts?
I mean, honestly, I feel like if I didn't meet Jody and then become part of this community that we have, I would have never pushed myself outside of my comfort zone as much as I have had been doing in the past, 2 to 3 years. And if I didn't do that, then my business wouldn't be where it is. You know, there's so much transformation I feel like that happened inside of me because of my community and a lot of reflection on who I am, who I'm growing to be, and in turn has pushed through in all aspects of my life, but also in my business. And I wouldn't have had the confidence to go out there and to meet other people and talk about myself or just get to know who they are. So
Yeah.
I think it's just pushing outside of my comfort zone. So I'm just like so grateful for each and every one of you guys because honestly, it's made a huge impact. And
it's a beautiful thing. I remember one of our times, like at I think it was charcuterie, and Jody was like, "Go to this place and like just say hello to this person," you know. And I remember that, and so like when you were saying that, I'm like, yeah, like, and you've done that, and look at where you are now.
Right, and then also. Yeah, Jody has done that for me multiple times.
Yeah.
She's like, just go in there.
Everybody needs
and
Jody
just
and her
say hi.
thoughts in their
I'm like, I don't know, I can't do it.
You go in and you're like, I was sent by Jody.
Yes.
Hi.
Jody has sent
introvert in extrovert's clothing. But also the first to say hi to somebody.
yeah.
But so that then, and then you and I, after charcuterie, went and we just like walked down 3rd Street. And then we walked into 123 on 3rd and met Hero. And then just yesterday, we both collabed and Megan shot for a content shoot, you know, while I'm doing the video. And it's like, we're all just making it happen.
swirling goodness.
And that was a year ago when we walked in
and it was
there
just so
together.
like we were just like walking and she's like, "Hi ladies, come in." And we came in and saw this beautiful space and talked with this beautiful human, and then a year later
we're working with her.
Hello.
You know? Yeah.
It's being open, right? Like I think there's that piece of it too. It's just being open to different discussions, different people, different opportunities, right? Anything come to mind for you, Victoria?
Oh, so many. I was so many.
She's like, how long do we have?
Yeah, no, but I think that the like one of the main things is that like going and I don't really know the words to describe, just like having the intention of maybe things not being for business. You know, like when you go into something just because you want to, just because you're excited about it, just because it turns you on, like go and do that and kind of sometimes be separate from whatever your business is. Because I think that really flourishes and it translates, you know? Yeah.
It does. Because when you're doing things that you really enjoy and love or give back, or, you know, because you do a lot of charity work, you know, and it's when you're doing that stuff, right? So much opens up for you. Conversation, opportunity. And it's not that that's the end goal. It's just that you're out there doing your thing, living your life in the most like you way. And that's when we are our most magnetic.
Yeah.
Is when we're doing things that light us up.
Yeah.
You know, it's just point blank. And there's no, well, there is science behind it, right?
Right. I mean, you're showing up as your authentic self, you know? So in turn, that's how you attract your people. Like it all like is like one big circle,
And you
know?
could go in like so hard on everything, right? Like if you have all the time, if you have all the money, if you have all the support, if you have all of the things that make maybe your daily life a little bit easier, you could go in so hard and you could be like, oh, this is my goal, this is what I'm going to lead to, and I got to go talk to this person, and, you know, and shoot my shot and network. And it's like, but do you, you know, like what is the goal for what's your like your what's like wealth to you, you know, like I guess
Like
Yeah.
your,
Would
it
Would
goes
that
back
be
to
like
your
a good way to
values.
say it?
Yeah. What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What is your? I think too. Like it
Yeah.
comes back to like what is your mission in this life,
Yeah.
Mhm.
right? And I think there's a time and a place for all the things. Like there's a time and a place for strategy and all that. Sure, there's best practices and anything that we look at in life, but especially being in business, but also there's just being and doing for and from an honest place that can get you. And that's all why I'm all about like the confidence side of what I do, the confidence coaching,
Mhm.
because sure, we could talk about strategy all day long. And yes, I am not, anybody out there's like, well, she said don't have a strategy. I am not saying that.
You do need a strategy.
You do need a strategy, but you also just need heart,
Yes.
right? And you need to live into that mission and just that beautiful essence that you bring. And the more that you step into that, the more confident you become in yourself, the more that people feel that, the more that people want to be around that in some way, shape, or form, whether it's also giving back or supporting your business or whatever it might be. All of that is so beautiful. And to me, it's this just dance of all of it together that really makes for growth and change. And it does not happen. It does not happen without good community. I'm looking straight at your eyes. If you're watching YouTube,
We're all looking at you.
We're watching you.
if you're listening only to the audio, you're like, what?
Yeah.
You should go on
looking at you.
YouTube for this intense eye moment.
We're all staring. I know.
Right.
Now look into our eyes.
Right. But thank you for sharing some of those little wins and insights because, well, I don't think we celebrate our little moments, because sometimes they're just moments that happen in our lives. And I don't even want to say just because that's a word I'm taking out of my vocabulary. I did an episode on that.
Yes.
Actually. They are moments in our lives. And whether you clock them as important or not, they are. And it's something that, going back to it, community will help you celebrate when you don't want to or when you don't see it as something beautiful for yourself.
Mhm.
I love it. Okay. Okay. When you think of where you're going next, what and why and who and how, anything that comes to mind, does community, what is it doing? Like, what do you need from your community? Let's just speak it into existence right here. And we're showing, right, that people, like, we can put it out there before we're even quite sure what it is. And even if you're like, I don't know what to answer to this, that's okay. Me either. But what is something that you can call in from your community, whether it's us or somebody else, that will help you get to your next version of yourself as you mold and move and shapeshift into whoever, whatever that looks like. And we can all just reminder, take a deep breath sometimes. Like right now, we always think that we have to just jump into answering something or getting, not that we're getting defensive here, but like in conversations, I'm just like, oh, hold on, wait. But sometimes take a little bit of a deep breath. I used to be that person. I know it's sometimes hard to believe for some people, but like I used to be like, I have to like defend my thought. I have to have something to say right away or else I might look dumb. I don't have thoughts. Like I don't have good things. So this is all of our reminders to take a deep breath as you're listening. Anybody have any thoughts that they're calling in?
I think for me, it's what I love about this lane that I am in with sustainable fashion is that I want people to think of me when they're getting dressed. And I know people do from the
We do.
DMs that I get from you guys.
Every day.
Every day.
But really just shifting our mindset and thinking differently. So, and then when it comes down to, okay, I want to go all in on this, like I want to be the first person people think of that tell their friends about. So just asking my community to share what they're learning when they're following me or if they've worked with me, and just be able to serve more people. That's what I'm calling in.
Oh, it's coming.
Bring it in. Bring it in.
It's all happening.
It is coming to you.
I think for me, what came in when you asked that question is not so much what I need from my community, but more so how I want to bring my community more into my business as it's growing. So building Sheridan Rose and making it into a studio means that I want to bring on more creatives who are like-minded, but who bring in different talents than I can, because I can't do it all. As much as I've tried, I've learned that I cannot do it all. But also, I don't want to. And so for me, it's just expanding that community and then bringing them into what I'm doing, and but also bringing their magic. And so it's supporting their businesses as well as mine, but also letting, people who find us tap into all of that magic and like share that soul and creativeness and everything to help propel their businesses as well. So it's almost like I just want to like keep building the circle, keep fueling their businesses within my business, and then just kind of building it in that way, if that makes sense. So
It does.
yeah, that's my
It
thought.
does. Absolutely. Anything come to mind?
I feel like a few things. Like the first thing is um, being able to show more people what they could expect out of an experience, doing something that they would be doing for themselves anyway, potentially, like getting your hair colored or getting your hair cut, like that kind of thing, and like slowing down and making the investment in yourself more intentional, and just leveling up the expectation there. But then also, I'm fueled by a lot of different things, and for me, they all really like intertwine and they connect like a little web of passion. And so, like that would be me taking care of more people who are creative and artistic and different, and that want to show their personality through their style or their hair, or and a lot of those people tend to lean more towards like people in the music community or artists, like that kind of thing, traveling and just showing people that you can enjoy any space that you're at, or you could like conjure up an idea to enjoy a service in a space that maybe you wouldn't even thought of before. But then also like bringing it back to how people feel, um, and being able to like expand on my like scalp therapy into the community and giving back to those who really deserve it and don't even realize that they could enjoy something like that, or that they could have that expectation of themselves to require that in their lives to feel that way, even if it's not my hands touching them,
Yeah.
So yeah,
I
I've
love
got
that.
some ideas, but yeah, they all go together.
Yeah. Yeah. We're calling it in right
Yeah.
here. Oh, here it comes. It's beautiful. And I love each of their answers, because what you don't know is there are also going to be some solo episodes with each of them. So you're going to get to dive into these beautiful minds even more in their very specific worlds. And this is very telling of exactly what they bring to the table, and the inspiration and just the beautiful thoughts that they bring to so many people that get to then radiate because of them, which is why I'm so proud that they're part of my community. Sometimes I'm like, pinch me. Is this real that I have such amazing humans in this circle of mine? And it's just wonderful. Okay, so as we wrap up this episode, we're going to do kind of a quick lightning round where we're all going to answer. So let me get to my little... It's nothing crazy, I promise. No deep, dark secrets. I mean, unless you want. No.
That's a whole
Okay.
other episode.
So we're going to go down the line. We'll just start with Jody, and we'll go down. So,
Jody.
she's like, so much
You
harder.
are fearless leader.
She is the fearless leader over here. Okay. Community is...
Expansive.
Ooh.
Supportive.
Ooh.
Intentional.
Ooh. Yes. These are all so good.
Love it.
I love them. And for me, community is kindness. It just brings in a different level of kindness, in my opinion.
That's on brand for you.
Mhm.
Yes.
Just like, okay. The biggest myth about community.
Ooh. Biggest myth about
Dun, dun,
community
dun.
is. Can we start the other way?
Yeah, I can actually start this one. I can start this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, start
Since
it.
I kind of had obviously a moment to
Yeah.
look at them as I wrote them. To me, the biggest myth about community is it has to be hard to build. Like it has to be this kind of like, oh, I have to go really search for my people, and it has to feel stressful, and there has to be all these, checklists and all that. So that it's only and always hard.
Mhm.
Any other? Whoever wants to pop in.
That you have to stay within close proximity to your neighborhood.
Mhm.
Ooh.
I like that one.
Because you definitely do not have to.
No.
Yeah. There's beautiful people everywhere, all over.
I think kind of on what you said, Megan, like it doesn't require a lot of energy. Like it can if you make it hard.
Yeah.
But like we all have been saying, just making it intentional and not quick to join a community that maybe isn't your community. But once you get in one that you're intentional about and that aligns with you, it's easier than being alone.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah, I think that maybe it would be that you have to like force it to happen, because I think once you start trusting in your intuition and putting yourself out there, it does come easy once you find those people,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah. that would
Ooh,
be my
love it. Okay. And this is the last little rapid fire. So it is one thing someone can do today to enhance their community. So especially if there's somebody out there that's feeling maybe lonely or that their community is just not what they are hoping and wanting and wishing for, what is one thing that they can do like immediately to start changing that?
Start the conversation. Especially if it's social media, it's so easy just to jump in a DM, send somebody you've never met before a voice memo, and it really goes a long way. I've made so many great connections that way.
I think I'm going to go into the social again, obviously, because what I do, but it is probably the easiest way to just get started. My recommendation would be if you're running a business, it doesn't have to be about your business. I would just shoot a photo, or if you feel inclined, do a video of something that you're really enjoying today, whether it's like a book that you're reading, a podcast that you're listening to, a song that you're listening to. It can be the coffee that you're drinking, something so simple, but just share that and let the people see on your social, and even make it a post so that more people can see, not just your followers. So then you can expand even more. A little bit of insight to who you are as a person, not just what you do, but what you enjoy.
Yeah. I love both of those so much. Like, now what?
What you got?
You got this.
I would definitely say ask yourself what type of people you would want to be surrounded by, and where you're trying to go in the next like year or so. Because if you can just kind of figure out what this next season looks like for you, and it's not really figuring it out, I guess I take that word back, but just ask yourself, what does this next few months look like for me? Am I lacking? Do I need to bring in more for myself? Do I need to give more? Do I need who could I be to someone else? And then usually it comes back. Yeah.
I love it. Excuse me. I love it. It's so beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. And one little piece that I would throw in as well from my heart is that if there's somebody who's been on your mind, your heart, maybe it's somebody who is kind of part of your community, but you have had not enough time to fit in having lunch with them or even a phone call, just call them, text them, put something on the calendar to have some time with them in whatever form you can do, right? I love in person if it can, but maybe you're not even local to that person, but they are somebody who ignites you. Get on a call, a Zoom or whatever, FaceTime, and don't put off what you can just do today, right? Because so often it's like, oh, how many times as an adult we're like, as our friendships and our community, we're like, oh, we're so busy. Well, we'll do that, in 2 weeks, or we'll do that 2 months from now, and then it just keeps pushing back and pushing back and pushing back. And you can do that today. Just make us like a stand for that person, that relationship, that energy exchange, and get it on your calendar. Let us know what you do. Tell us what's up. We want to know. We want to know. And we would love, if you are listening and watching on YouTube, to jump in and tell us what and how you step into your community, what you're going to do today or this week to, ignite some communication with the people that get you, that you love, that you feel lifted up by. Let us know, because we're all learning always. At least I know I am. And yeah. Okay. So anybody have any last, and there's no right or wrong answer, thoughts that you want to leave here for people who are maybe feeling like they really want to step into themselves and their community differently?
Just go for it. Believe in yourself. I mean, I know it sounds so like cliche, but it really is like having that confidence and just doing it. Even if it's so scary to you, you just gotta, like Victoria said, like get out of your house. Just do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just do it.
I like to approach everything as like just a learning experience. So if you go in more with like a playful mind, like what can I do today, or like what can I learn about someone today, or something. It's just playing and taking notes every time you're in a situation like that. Like what could I have done better? Like where was my energy? And really just using that to propel you forward. Like it's not going to be easy. Sometimes it's never easy, but it's just, stepping more into someone that's just ready to learn, eager to learn, and wants to play and have fun.
Love it. It can be fun and playful. I love that reminder.
Jody speaks for me, so
You're like, oh, we're on the same.
I might as well just been
page.
mouthing exactly what you were saying, lip syncing the whole time.
You can see that t-shirt.
Yeah, because that's how I look at it, like playing and learning, taking like side quests, like that kind of thing, and then
Side quest, I love that.
Yeah, I
yeah,
love that.
side quest forever.
Yeah.
Forever.
But yeah, and then I would say too, like, once again, looking back, like, look back on yourself, your personal life. What are you willing to be, like, how much energy or time do you have? And if you're depleted already, what does that look like? Because you don't want to put yourself in a position where you're like forcing yourself to be like, oh, I want to be part of a community, or I want to meet someone new, or I want to expand on this conversation that I had with somebody, when you're already depleted. So like go back to what Shannon was saying too, and what you were saying, like you need to start filling yourself up and then figure out what you're interested in, and then start playing and side questing.
Yeah.
Side
Side
quests
Got
for
some heavy
life.
heavy
I
nods
love
over
it.
here.
Yeah.
Yes.
We're all in agreement if you're only listening to the audio.
Yeah, because sometimes like people want to build they think that they want to build a community, or they think that they want to be support for someone else, but they're maybe the season of life that they're in, they're actually not able to give,
Yeah.
and then they end up being resentful. And you don't want that either, like just really figure out what you're able to give and take on, yeah.
When you said that, it made me think of, back in school when you were doing like a fundraiser, they had like the little thermometer,
Oh yeah.
and they'd put like the red marker, they'd fill it up or whatever. Like do that for yourself, right? Kind of give yourself a nice gauge, right? You know, if you are eager to build a community, we love that and we want that for everybody and we want it to feel good, but not at the expense of putting yourself in so many different pots and with so many people that you A, burn yourself out, or B, call in too many different people and personalities that you're kind of like, now I'm in this weird
You get
situation
lost.
where I don't know how to navigate to the ones that I feel the most good with.
Yeah.
Because now you feel like, oh boy, you know, like you're just navigating too many different energies, personalities,
Yeah.
all of the things.
And other people can pick up on that too.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
you know, like all this, like one moment you're like so in it and you're so interested and you want to connect with this person, but then you like fall off the face of the planet and you're, you know, and so like people remember that.
Yeah.
And it'll be something that they, you know, might share with other people too. So it's like, what kind of name are you wanting to,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
share?
I love that. Like going in with intention and safeguarding that heart, I think is the most important part, no matter what or where in your community building you are in. And you might be listening and feeling like I have a solid community, but it's still always kind of making sure that we're, you know, navigating it in a way that feels good. Because even with the best people around you, you can still burn yourself out
Yeah.
because you're still trying to do so much for the people you love, you know? And so that's an important little reminder as we wrap this up too, is even in the best of spaces and places and personalities and all the things, you know, are you, you know, making sure that you're giving yourself time and energy, you know, through it as well.
So important.
Thank you, ladies, for being here. This was
Thanks
so
for having
exciting.
us.
That like, just like I'm just looking around and I'm just like, oh my gosh. Usually it's just me and Leroy right here, which everybody voted on the Instagram polls. That was the name, so he is Leroy officially.
I love it.
So to have you guys here and to be able to have this soulful conversation that I know people are gonna, you know, walk away from just thinking about something differently, right? That's all that really we want out of this life. I'm so grateful.
Thank you. We're
Thank
grateful
you.
for you.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for having
Thank
us.
you. All right, everybody. So be sure to tune into the other episodes where each of these ladies are going to jam on their beautiful selves and what they do and what they bring to the world. We've got some great stuff coming up. And in the meantime, take this conversation and really move into some intentionality this week. See where you can get a little more self-aware, where you can find some spaces and places to really just ground into yourself and your community. And we will see you next time.